What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and yes, we'll just cut right to it. I've decided to dip my toes back into the game, come back and see how it's going. I didn't realize it's been almost 2 months since I quote-unquote quit the game, and I've still been plugged in with the community, still been hanging out in some Discords, still talking with a few people, some of the content creators, and had a lot of people surprisingly trying to get me to come back and play the game. A lot of people actually in my own YouTube community messaged me, tell me, they missed some of the videos and really enjoyed some of the videos, and they were very helpful. And that's mainly what swayed my opinion. Also, with talking with HG a lot still, he was telling me that they've done a lot to improve quality of life. You wouldn't really know that from looking at some of the other content creator videos recently, but I did start playing the game again, just kind of sparingly. And yeah, they actually have cut down a lot on some of the time you have to invest to play now, which I was kind of surprised at. Obviously, a lot has happened in the last 2 months. You've still got the war going on in Ukraine. I personally had thought this would negatively affect the game, but surprisingly, it seems like Plarium has just dumped everything they possibly could into Raid to try to make sure the game is going to tread water at least and survive for the time being. Obviously, there's been some sore points like the $50 Arbiter skins and some things that maybe weren't so great on their end, but just from being back a little bit here, there's a lot of positives that I've noticed, and I'm going to go over some of that today. We're going to talk a little bit about why I came back to the game and how I'm actually going to manage the game in my time a little bit better this time around, because I think what happened was I just burned out because I was playing 2 or 3 accounts at a time. I was in the content creator program. I was trying to do 2 or 3 videos every week, even though I only had to do 1, and I just couldn't come up with enough ideas. I was too stressed out with a lot of stuff. Real life picked up quite a bit with work and things. I just didn't have any time, and I think it's actually probably a good thing that I, quote unquote, again, quit the game and kind of went away for a little while, because it allowed me to reset and kind of start over. I did play Awakened Chaos Era a little bit during my break, but as much as I've been enjoying that game, I just really can't get into it the same as I've been able to get into Raid. So I kind of had a little bit of an itch to come back to the game. And like I said, just seeing a lot of the comments from some people saying, your videos were helpful, we'd like you to make some more stuff, come back to the game, check it out. That's really what swayed me in the end and kind of made me want to come back and see what was going on with the game. So we're going to go into the account today. We're going to take a look around, kind of show you guys some updates on some things that have happened with my own account. Actually, it's the 3rd year anniversary of Raid 2, so kind of a good timing here because we can go watch our little Raid recap video like everyone else has been doing. I actually was going to put this video out earlier in the week, but I came down with food poisoning this week. I ate some bad fruit that it was kind of iffy toward the end of its life cycle, and I decided to put it in a shake and still try to get through it. And yeah, really bad decision. I'm going to be a lot more careful going forward on the produce that I eat, because I was out for about 3 days this week, just barfing my guts out. I lost about 7 pounds in the last 2 days. It's not been fun, but today, Saturday, is the first day I've actually felt, I'd say I'm about 80-90% back to being normal. The last couple days have been really rough, and today was finally the first day I was able to sit down and be on the computer and make a video. I've been really just sleeping a ton over the last couple of days. I had to take a little bit of time off of work too. It was really hard to concentrate on anything with the amount of pain that I was in, because one thing is, like, when you get sick like that and you're constantly, vomiting, I apologize for the graphic nature of this if it bothers you, but you get really sore. Like, your whole abdominal stomach area gets really sore from all of that impact physically on your body, because it's actually very physically taxing on your body when you get sick like that. And any of you guys who might work out or athletes, when something's bothering you with your core, it basically bothers the rest of your body. It's so hard to move around when you're really sore with your abdominals, stomach area, and it's just been miserable. It's hurt to sleep, it's hurt to move. It's been awful. But today, I feel pretty good. I've been on a pretty much liquid applesauce shake diet the last couple of days, just recovering from this, trying to make sure I'm getting enough electrolytes. But I think we've turned the corner, and we're going to sit off here this next week and hopefully get back to 100%. And it's actually, I think, going to help me eat a little bit healthier here going forward and pay a little bit more attention to what I'm putting into my stomach here, because it was just not a fun time the last couple of days. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video here. Let's go ahead and, you know what, we'll go ahead and watch this raid recap. I've already watched it once, so I'm just going to kind of go through and commentate on it. You see here, I've already shared it, and kind of a fun note here, you don't actually have to share this, just you would click the share video, and then when you click on whatever to create your link, you can just exit right out of it and you'll get your rewards. But let's take a look here and see what my 3-year anniversary video looks like. The sound's not on here, you won't be able to hear anything, but it's not that important. They just go through and they're talking about how many things they've added to the game in the 3 years it's been out. Hydra, yeah, Hydra's been a great addition to the game. This is your legacy. Your forces have grown strong. So I kind of found that interesting that I only am missing that many champions. I think it's mostly legendaries. So this is kind of funny here. We've got Cold Heart and Renegade on my most used. I think this is pretty true, just given the amount that I farm Spider. My Spider 20 team has 3 to 4 Cold Hearts in it. My Spider 25 team has 2 Cold Hearts and Renegade. So this makes a lot of sense. Duchess I use pretty much everywhere, especially in the Doom Tower. Doom Tower hard, she's one of my go-tos. Arena defense, pretty much same with Lydia. Lydia, Duchess are probably my 2 most used Doom Tower champions, because I pair them up with Seer for all the buffs, so that's not really surprising. And then of course they're going to say Cold Heart was my favorite, which again, not surprising because I use her in Spider 20, Spider 25. I think she's in both of my Fire Knight teams, my Dragon 20 team. So yeah, I just use her all over the place. Just for that enemy and max HP damage, she's a really solid rare champion, obviously. So, all right, let's see what our dungeons look like here. So Dragon 25, we did 11,000, almost 500 times. Not surprising, that's where we go for most of our speed gear, if we can get it. Fire Knight, 9,124. Probably should be a little higher here. This is one of the dungeons I didn't start farming until late, and Ice Golem obviously is going to come in last. It's probably the one most people don't like to do, although I've been trying to do it a little bit more lately to get some reflex gear and some resistance gear. It's actually a pretty good dungeon to farm now, some of the sets having a lot more value, like reflex and retaliation are pretty solid there. We got Minotaur pretty low there, and of course Spider 25. This is my main dungeon I use for silver for accessories. And pretty much when Clan vs. Clan comes around, this is all I do is farm Spider 25. It's just the easiest way for me to get points. I've got about a 25-second team in there with Sissia and Renegade, so I can go in there and just sort of farm all day long, just get a ton of points. It's pretty easy, you know, to get a pretty good amount of points through that. So I'm not surprised at all by those numbers. Great riches, we've 16,000 artifacts. Shards, look at all that silver, 1.4 billion. I don't know where all of it went. 14,000 arena teams. So, okay, yeah, this is data from last 90 days. Although I've been using this team basically since Leorius came into the game. It's basically Arbiter speed boosting into Lydia, decreased defense, Lady Kimmy to take away their buffs, reduce some turn meter, and then Gembo, who's kind of still a closet nuker in this game. This guy can slam, and he ignores the unkillable when he's got the attack up on him, so he basically makes the Skull Crown teams and the Leorius teams pretty much easy farms. So he hits pretty hard, although I did get a new nuker that we're going to talk about in just a second when we do the account update. So that's pretty funny. 87% win rate. A lot of medals. Now the Great Hall one here is pretty hilarious because this is actually now a 7 out of 10. What had happened was I wanted to bring this last one up to gold, but I think one of these other 10s I moved up and made them 10 because I had to do it for one of the Romantu missions. But it's just funny that all these are gold except for this last one here. But now we've got these all gold, and now that Arena seems to be fixed, we actually are farming quite a bit, and this is going to be another project to work on, getting the Great Hall finished. Major name in the arena, yeah, gold 5. Pretty much everybody made gold 5. Strongest defense. Now this is kind of funny because I literally put this defense in for like a week. and it's the strongest defense that I used. It was kind of very high resistance. We got Lydia in the lead, and I've got Raglan here, who my Raglan's in an untouchable set with a resistance, and she's over 500, 600 resistance, I think. Lydia, of course, and we got 2 Mountain Kings. I think I have one of these in Avenging gear and one in a shield set. So this was when the whole debacle happened with the point system being where basically you were losing 15 points per loss and only getting like 4 or 5 points per win. So a lot of people were just getting rolled and getting knocked out of their ranks. So I just threw a really super high power defense in, and it pretty much kept people from attacking me. Even though they probably could have beat it, they just decided not to even fight me. So that was kind of why I put that defense in. It's kind of interesting that's the way it is. And in Faction Wars, we've had that done for a while, so that's not a surprise. Glyphs earned, too bad not enough of them are 6-star speed glyphs. And then it just goes into some of the clan stuff here. So that's pretty cool. Dominated the Demon Lord. I'm not sure how accurate any of this stuff is. This is what really shocked me here. Is this completing hard Doom Tower is probably my favorite thing I've done on this account, because it just kind of shows how your account grows. But I was blown away that only 1.6% of people, if this is accurate, have done this since hard Doom Tower launched, because that just seems like really low. You're one of the chosen. You have achieved much, but your legend has just begun. Okay, I think that's going to be it for this, but there's the recap, which is kind of interesting there. We'll go ahead and get back out of there. So, yeah, let's go in here. We got some stuff. But here's the funny thing, and it's kind of why I was thinking about actually doing a clickbait title for this video. I was going to say Plarium gave me a free Trunda for coming back to the game. Literally a couple days after I got back, I did like a 10 pull on Ancients, and I got Trunda, which she's like the first, I guess, meta arena offense champion I've pulled on this game in like 2.5 years. So I was absolutely ecstatic to get her. It's kind of funny, but I actually built her kind of trollish. Swift parry Trunda. And I've put her on defense too. It's kind of funny. So she steals a lot of wins because that Swift parry will proc. And then even if you don't have the rest of your team, like even if the decreased defense isn't there, she's usually strong enough to still nuke the entire enemy team because she's just busted. But that was actually the set I could get the most crit damage on her with. I think I was using it on Genbo actually before, and I switched it over to her. But you can see there 270 crit damage, 100% crit rate, 5200 attack. This could all be a little bit higher, obviously. And then actually I've got her 232 speed, so she's pretty fast. So we don't get cut in very often when we use her on offense. But yeah, I was absolutely ecstatic. I was like, how am I going to come back to the game? And the game's like, oh, here's Trunda. You know, you can have Trunda. So pretty funny. And I think we got her fully booked. I did play the Clan vs. Clan last week, so or this week. Was it this week? I can't remember because of the whole food poisoning thing. It's kind of throwing my mental off this week. I can't even remember what happened the last couple of days. But yeah, so we actually got a Trunda, which was pretty funny. And then the Void 2X is going on, and I pulled a couple of shards just to get the fusion warm-up done. I've been pulling a couple a day because I had about 16 voids left from where I had taken my break, and trying to find her here. Yeah, so literally my very first shard was Venus, and again she was a non-dupe, somebody I did not have. So yeah, kind of interesting there. And you can see here we've been working on. I've just been actually leveling her up. I had an XP barrel, so I got her to 50 and just leveled her to 6 stars. I've been doing her leveling through Minotaur there. So there you go. Pretty crazy. We've gotten some pretty good luck there with the legendary champions there since we came back to the game. So we got some fun projects to work on. Not quite sure where I'm going to use Venus yet, but it was a pretty good pull. I was pretty surprised. But let's get in here and actually talk about some of the stuff that I've actually thought was pretty cool here that has got me back into the game quite a bit. And Arena is absolutely crazy right now. It's like Arena was completely busted in a bad way, and now they've got it to where it's just like Farm City. You see a lot of these one player. Let me see if we can find one here. We're kind of almost back into platinum, so okay, here we go. So you got here. This is like basically 2 fights. 1 fight here will get into platinum, but there's all these one-man defenses right now because apparently what they did when they fixed the arena, they apparently made it so you can only lose 5 times per day and lose points. So a lot of people, I guess, are just putting these one-man defenses in to help people farm, and I guess also to make it so they get hit 5 times real quick early in the day, and then they don't get points lost for the rest of the day. So you can just sit here and farm. I think when I started today, it's Saturday, so I had some time to play. I think I was at like 4,300 points, so I've farmed almost 800 points today, which is crazy. But yeah, even when you get up into the higher levels, some of these pages you're going to see 3 and 4 one-man defenses, so it's pretty easy to go through. You can see my Gembo, even though I have Trunda, I'm still using him. He just hit that Mountain King for 118,000. Gembo he slaps pretty damn hard. But just some of these crazy teams here still, but you know, we can refresh again. Now that we're in plat, we're probably not going to see the 1-stars or the one-man defenses, but there's been a couple here and there. We'll do one more, but yeah, now it's back to kind of normal once you get up into platinum. But if you are coming up through gold 5 right now, it's just like one-man defense city. So get out there and just farm. I think I can actually show my attack log here. I think we lost. Well, yeah, look at all these. It's just basically, this is all day today. Just every. Now, this one's funny. I actually put in. I have my grappler. I was goofing around. I beat these 2 teams with my grappler, but I put him into this one, and he couldn't do enough damage to kill the Arbiter. She kept healing, so I actually had to quit after like 6 minutes. I was just like, I don't want to sit here and do this. But look at all these one-man teams, basically. And then defense, you know, we're not getting hit really too much here over the last 24 hours. Now, when you get in platinum, you can still lose points, so you will get knocked back down. But yeah, so if you can get up into gold 5 right now, it's a really good time to get out there and farm. But let's see what else here. So yeah, we got Doom Tower here. I haven't done my Doom Tower tonight, but one of the things that I've really been enjoying is now you can do the super raids and basically cut your farm time in half on the Doom Tower bosses, so you can get your materials and stuff farmed up pretty quickly there. A little bit more quickly than usual. And then they also did this in Faction Wars. So if we come into Faction Wars here and you go down, you can see here you can do the same thing. We do super raids, and you've only got 1 available here because we have 12 keys. Now the cool thing they did with this though is you can actually go into 3v3, do your 5 3v3 matches before you do Faction Wars, and it now allows you to claim all the keys ahead of time. Before you had to wait, it would say, oh, you're going to lose all these keys. They actually changed it so you now can get up to 18 keys on here, and you come in here and do 2. You can do 2 battles and get all your glyphs right away, and then just do one of the other stages for the 2 points. And it's cut down on the farming time quite a bit. So that's actually one of my big complaints, was how long before it took to do Faction Wars, because before, you know, with a clear time of say 2 minutes and 30 seconds here, you know, having to come in here and do 4 or 5 of these battles, I mean, that's 10 to 15 minutes, which has now been cut down quite a lot. So that's been a really nice change they made to the game, bringing that in. And like I said, now you can claim those keys from 3v3 and basically just do it all at one time, which is pretty cool. So I really like that they made that change to the game. Both in Doom Tower and Faction Wars, adding that in has really cut back on the game time, which is pretty cool. It seems like they've been doing super raids a lot more in dungeons as well, so it's the farming time seems to have been cut down a good bit. Now, clan boss is still a bit of an issue, just because it's going to take you 15 to 20 minutes to do a key. So that's where most of the time sink is with the game right now, is just getting the clan boss runs in. And obviously Hydra, I've just been autoing Hydra now. I am not really going into it too hardcore. See if I have my team here for this week. So this is on normal, and this is a team I just put together. It's got some HP burn. It's got some cleansing with Reliquary and Doom Priest. We got Ninja there, who's pretty good here. And then I've got a Mother Sibel, who I've pulled so many of her. I just plus 2'd her. And she's just a speed lead. with some pretty good utility there for the Hydra. So this team usually at least gets me over the 6.6 million for normal. And then hard, I have not done my keys this week, but again, I usually just auto these and I'm able to get at least 5 million out of 2 teams. But the main team I've been using here for hard, because I'm fortunate obviously to have Duchess, is just Duchess Lydia Raglan for her cleanse and revive. Champ Fort is just a great champion over here overall. And then we've actually got 2 Geomancers built. We just run with those guys. And this team usually gets me 6 to 7 million. On hard, it's not something I'm really focused on. Hydra is not very enjoyable. It's just something you're doing more to get Mithrala. But those are the 2 teams I've been running on this rotation since I came back. If that gives you any ideas. I'm probably not going to ever do Hydra videos because there's people that do them a lot better than I do, and it's just not something that I enjoy or anything that I really want to get back into in the game. And I guess I'll talk about that real quick. The video is getting kind of long here, so we're going to stop in just a second. But basically my approach to the game now is playing it very laid back. I basically save all my stuff for 2 weeks for Clan vs. Clan. You can see here we got quite a bit of materials in the Forge. We got 220 resilience, 97 perception, and basically 36 swift parry. Yeah, we got to probably do those at some point. But you can see here we got all our Doom Tower from our hard farming. We got all our stuff we can make here. So what I do is every 2 weeks I just go through and just dump all this, and I go through and get all the gear. And I'm not really trying to play super hardcore every day. I get on now, I do my daily quests, and now with the amount of time that's cut back from Faction Wars and Doom Tower, it's really saving me a lot of time. I can usually play for like an hour or 2 each day instead of 6 or 7 hours like before. And it's been a little bit more refreshing that way. I don't get burned out on the game as quickly. I'm still playing Final Fantasy pretty hardcore on the side. I've really been enjoying that game and putting a lot of time into that. Obviously this week we took some time off where we were sick and not feeling good, but yeah, so I'm going to try to not to get burned out. I'm going to try basically just to play. During the week is pretty casual. I do my auto battles. And the cool thing is, obviously, I'm fortunate enough to work from home, so I can play the game in the background. Even during Clan vs. Clan, I basically just load up my auto battles. I have the game running on my computer in the game room, and then I go work. And every 30 to 40 minutes, I'll just take a break from work, come check the auto battles, start them over again, do what I got to do, and go. So I'm not really even playing the game during Clan vs. Clan. It's kind of like just playing itself. So that's the main thing. I'm just going to try to manage the time a little bit better. And I don't think I'm going to go back into the content creator program. I did have an open invitation to return if I decided to come back to the game and make content again, but honestly, I don't really miss it at all. The content creator program is an interesting place. You don't really have any say with what happens in the game because they just basically they pretend they listen to you, but they really don't. None of your ideas ever make it up to the higher ups. And that was one thing that always bothered me, was I was only joined that program really to kind of bring the concerns of the community to the developer, and that's not something that you can really do. I didn't care about the perks. The level 1 perks are not that great. Really, tier 3 is where it's at. That's where the main perks are, but it's I've seen people get to tier 3 and then it's weird. It just kind of changes the way they look at the game and the way they look at the other people in the content creator program. So I don't know. I don't know if it's actually worth it in the end. They do get the test server, but I've seen that, it just kind of creates a little bit of elitism. And there's just honestly way too many content creators. There's actually I think over 100 content creators in the official program. It's an insane number. Anybody can really get into it once you get to a very low number of Twitch or YouTube analytics. And it just creates all kinds of stupid drama. The content creator chat was never really a great place to hang out. I had some fun trolling people there because some of the things that would be said were just insanely ridiculous. So I'd post memes and stuff in there. I'd troll people. That was kind of fun, but at the end of the day, I don't miss that at all. So there's really not much of a reason to return to that program. Plus, that just creates more obligations on my end, where it's I have to do content each week, and if I'm feeling off like I was this week, there's that pressure, and I don't really miss having to worry about that. So I don't think I'm going to go back. I don't really see a reason to do it. Because like I said, unless you're tier 3 getting the access to the test server, there's really no point in being in the content creator program. Obviously, you're going to get some perks from Plarium, but that also kind of somewhat obligates you, I guess, to be nice to them all the time and not be critical, which I've seen that happen to a lot of people. Whereas with me, I was always like, whatever, I'm going to say what I want because I really don't care if they kick me out. So I don't know. I think for this time being, we'll kind of let that go and not worry too much about going back into that. I also will not be playing the free-to-play account. I decided when I did come back, I'm just going to play my main account, which is a lot more developed, obviously, than my free-to-play account, since I have spent money on it and done a lot of things. So, you know, we got a lot of great legendary champions. Still missing quite a few. I still don't have Kaimar here, among others. No Siphi, no Hegemon, no Rotos. Hopefully we'll pull those later. Hopefully our luck is going to change this year since we got Trunda. Maybe that's a good sign. But, you know, we're just going to make some content. I think that's fun. I've got a lot of ideas for stuff I want to do. I want to get back into making some of our fun rare champion videos. I've actually been building up quite a few of those. You'll see here we got the Grappler army going on. Just ignore that for now. Nothing's going to happen with that. But we've been working on Banshee. Banshee's one of my favorite. Abyssal also. So I may do some videos with these guys. We've been working on some of these champions. I mean, here's the fun. The fun thing is I'm at the point in the game where I don't really have anything to do. It's just basically hard Doom Tower now. Working on getting the hard Doom Tower champs. I'm about almost done with getting Uros the Soul Cage. And I had ignored hard Doom Tower for a long time. So I'm just getting caught up there, trying to get through that. But that's mainly the thing now is like we can just have fun. In case Soda Dragon's watching, he might see this right here. That might interest him a little bit. But yeah, so we can kind of have fun building some of these champions now. And I think that's when you get to the end of the game, that's kind of unfortunately one of the only things you really have to do, especially if you don't enjoy Hydra, is we can just sort of goof around and build some rares and some commons and just goof off and have a good time. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to try to make some content that's also helpful for anybody coming up through the game. And always, as I always say, you know, if you want anything in particular you're looking for, put a comment down in the comments, let me know, and I'll do my best to make you a video or try to address the topic so we can help you out with that. But I think that's going to do it for this video, guys. We kind of rambled on long enough. I didn't expect to go this long, so hopefully some of you all stayed for the end here, and we'll start getting some raid content back going here. Probably going to do a Doom Tower video with some rare champions here as one of the first ones back. And we'll see how that goes, but just kind of wanted to touch base on returning to the game. I feel like, you know, like I said, Plarium has done some cool changes. I forgot to touch on the AI changes in dungeons, so I'm going to do a separate video on that, because that's actually another thing that's been really good that I've really enjoyed since I returned to the game. But we'll touch on that in a separate video. So, as always, guys, hope you're having a great day. Thanks, as always, for watching, and I will see you again next time.